So this is some bull. As a matter of fact, moving forward from this point on, I will not make reference to PFF. Once my homeboy was the number one, I blacked out. I was like, oh.
You blacked out?
Yeah, I blacked out, Skip. Okay, there's a bridge out. Can we wait till we cross that bridge? Can we wait till we get to the bridge? Did the ball go in the hoop? What did your eyes tell you? Okay, what are we talking about?
Okay.
Period. That's not how
He didn't
sports
do
work.
that. He was second in the league in lack of those plays.
Oh, hold on. Let me see here. Tom Brady. So he doing a lot of James White. My guy throwing the ball 40 and 50 yards down the field. When you're throwing the ball to James White and James Burkhead. So they not use what I need to call EEOC because they're discriminating against Tom Brady because of his age. They don't factor that in there. They didn't say anything about no age. All I'm saying is in 2019, what did the eyes tell you? The first 3 games.
Okay.
Nobody, Skip, nobody is playing better than Pat Mahomes at the quarterback position.
Well, Shannon, we've watched every single player on every play. We've graded them all in the NFL so that you didn't have to. And yes, we have some slightly different views on Patrick Mahomes so far through 3 games. Yes, we know he's special. Yes, we know he's awesome. But we're talking about play-by-play grading. There's a lot of hidden plays that you just forget about unless you got PFF.
Yeah, look, let's start this off by saying that nobody here disagrees with the idea that Patrick Mahomes is the most talented quarterback in all of football. He's the new Aaron Rodgers. He is the guy that we all look at and say, nobody has that kind of skill, nobody has that talent. He is the most gifted quarterback playing. But we're 3 weeks into the NFL season, and we're talking about on a play-by-play basis which guy has graded the best, and we have him 6th. Like, it's not like we have him, the bottom end of the league somewhere. We have him 6th, and the difference between 1st and 6th is a couple of plays here and there. And there's a couple of plays here and there that don't show up in the box score.
And we'll get to those in a minute, but we have to start by saying, listen, there are passing stats that are influenced mostly by the quarterback, but also by the play calling and by the playmakers. So just off the top of my head, I know Patrick Mahomes threw a 9-yard pass against Jacksonville in week 1 that turned into a 77-yard touchdown because of the defense and his playmakers. I know he's had fumbles and negated interceptions that we're going to talk about. I know he ranks 19th in negatively graded throw percentage for us this year, when last year he ranked 2nd. And I know he's actually missed a high percentage of downfield open throws. So as many as he's hit, and he's been special, big-time throws. He's number 1 in the league again this year. He's actually missed a lot, too. You know what that tells me? The scheme and the playmakers have been incredible. So when you see 400 passing yards per game and you see 10 touchdowns, no interceptions, it looks incredible, but it's not all attributed to Patrick Mahomes.
And that's the scary thing about him, is that if he actually stops missing the throws, if he actually hits on some of those misses, he's going to be legitimately unstoppable. Like, we're talking 6,000 yards, 60 touchdowns. It's going to be insane. And I certainly wouldn't bet on him being there by the end of the season. But right now, there's no point in denying that there are some misplays and some bad plays that we're not paying attention to because they don't show up in your tally of box score numbers. Right?
Yeah, and even in the PFF grading, I think he'll be in the top 1 or 2 by the end of the year, because that's where he was last year. We expect him to be there. He was a top 3 quarter. We had Brady, Breeze, and Mahomes coming into the season. I don't think anybody's going to argue with that. So let's get into some of the plays, because he's had 4 turnover-worthy plays, and we've got 3 of them to take a look at here today. Let's get right to it. Can we look into it right now? 0
interceptions, but 4 turnover-worthy plays that don't show up in that number.
They're not showing up in the passing stats that have a passer rating of 130 plus.
Leads the league in passer rating.
So it's been a pocket presence issue, Sam. I think he's, because he makes so many special plays, he leaves a few plays on the table because he's trying to do too much.
Right, so we've got a couple of fumbles here in the pocket where he's trying to do too much, doesn't feel the rush coming, or at least doesn't adjust to the fact that it is here now and you need to protect the football.
Let's just roll it. And again, if these plays haven't affected the outcome of the game, sometimes you forget about it. And, that has been, that's the disconnect, I would say.
So let's play him. First play.
Week 1 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Again, they're scoring a ton of points, but here's Mahomes in the pocket.
Knows it's coming, gets into trouble, ball comes out. Bad play by the quarterback.
Now, just because his team recovered, it doesn't change the grade on there. That's a bad fumble. We're going to put a harsh grade on it. He got lucky,
Right.
essentially. He got lucky that they recovered the ball.
So this is a play that nobody thinks about because people do not look at quarterback fumble numbers unless the guy racks up like 15 of them over a season.
And we grade,
which, by the way, he's on course to do right now.
He's on pace to have one per game, which would be pretty bad. So this is just bull jive in the pocket. That's what I think, Shannon. That's what it is.
Nice.
Let's go to the next bull jive.
The next Bulljive.
So we got another fumble coming up against the Oakland Raiders. Yeah, they scored 28 in the second quarter. Don't forget, they got shut out in the other 3 quarters against the Raiders. Oof. I mean, they did have a negated 70-something yard touchdown that he threw a dime on, but don't worry about it.
But those negated plays are important as well because they come back later. Again, climbs the pocket, knows the pressure's coming, lets it get to him.
This time the Raiders recovered it. So in our world, both fumbles just as bad. He has nothing to do with whether our friend Mitchell Schwartz recovers it or if the Raiders recover it.
Correct.
That's bull jive as well.
Once it's out of his hands, there's nothing he can do about it. He's relying on other people to make that play. There you go. Bad play, trying to make something else happen with bodies all around you. So this is another play. By the way, it could have been an interception if the dynamics of where him trying to throw versus the contact happened. This is a bad turnover-worthy play by the quarterback that doesn't show up as a pick in the pick column.
And just to be clear, there are some fumbles that the quarterbacks can't really avoid,
Sure.
right? They get blindsided. It's in their throwing motion. These are clear, poor pocket presence trying to do too much. Let's go to the next turnover-worthy bull jive.
What's our next Bulljive, Steve?
I believe this was the negated interception. So plays happen, and they get negated by penalty. And if the penalty has nothing to do with the play,
You're grading
that's
what
different.
if, Steve? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm grading what Patrick Mahomes did, and he fires an errant pass where the corner makes a play on the ball.
So he throw the ball right to the safety.
The play was negated by a pass interference that didn't affect where the pass actually went on the interception. There's pass interference over there, but it didn't affect because the running back was already off his route.
Forcing the ball essentially into double coverage gets picked off. But it gets negated, so it doesn't count in the score. But it counts in the grade.
And we didn't even show the other bull jive fumble that he had while
In the run game.
while trying to run on a 4th and 1 against the Baltimore Ravens. So overall, 4 turnover-worthy plays, 3 of which are fumbles, a negated interception, and I ran some math just for fun, just hypothetically.
You ran math?
I did. It's not really hypothetical. It's based off what he did. If you just count those as interceptions, if you just counted those 4 plays as interceptions, he goes from 1st in the league in passer rating to guess where, Sam?
Where, Steve?
6th.
Where we ranked him?
6th.
This is the bottom line, right?
We're grading what they did.
Yes. And the difference between 1st and 6th in our rankings through 3 games
Small samples.
is very, very small. Let's say 4 plays. And turns out there's 4 plays that were very bad that people are ignoring.
In conclusion, Patrick Mahomes is awesome. He's leading the league in big-time throws. His stats are off the charts. But 4 bull jives, drop him to 6.
Thanks for watching the PFF YouTube channel. And if you want to subscribe, all you have to do is push the button. Don't forget everything you get. A little fantasy, push the button. A little green line for the gambling aspects of the game, push the button. College football, push the button. The YouTube channel from PFF.